When you're a cruiser and your sailboat is your house, your dinghy is your car. It's your main adventure platform, your link to land, and it might even be your life raft in some situations. So when our dinghy's issues started getting worse fast, I got straight to fixing them. Some of our very observant viewers even noticed the problem in last week's episode. Last week, when Ari and I were out adventuring around the Waccamaw River, I opened up all 7.5 ponies of her. And it looks like that was probably a mistake. The transom where it attaches to the tubes rapidly started coming unglued. There was a few places where it was very minorly unglued, and it became fairly serious pretty quickly. So this week, let's begin with how I went about trying to fix our dinghy. But first, my cute little assistant and I have to get her up out of the water and on deck. The plan is to do some of the glue work on the transom on the dinghy, which is why I wanted it up on deck in the first place. So let's get some gluing done. Well, that's not going to be aggressive enough. Let's try something a little meaner. But let's try it on something not so crucial, just to see how it goes. Now, not too aggressive, hardly any down pressure, and trying to ride the line between no glue coming off speed and the glue getting too hot and smearing speed. It's probably worth mentioning that this is not my first time doing this kind of thing. While I've never actually repaired an inflatable dinghy before, I do have a great deal of experience with this type of job. Many of you may not know this, but I worked as an upholsterer for close to a decade before starting our sailing journey. I've used this HH66 glue and lost brain cells to its smell many times before. Now, one of the tricky things about repairs in general is trying to get the cleanup done on something that you aren't or can't take all the way apart. In this case, I'm just doing the best I can and hoping it works. Now, here, I would normally use something more aggressive for surface cleaning. But I was trying to split the difference between cleaning the glue residue and causing more glue to let go. So, isopropanol it is. Now, it's time for some glue. The directions say to apply an even coat on both sides and let it become tacky and then stick it together. Now, in the upholstery world, we were usually working on the table or on the floor for combining or patching things that were usually flat. Where we could, we would use a roller to firmly press things together and squeeze out all the air bubbles. In this case, I'm gonna hope that reinflating the tubes and pressing things together is enough pressure to create a good bond. Now, this glue only has a few minutes to become tacky and a few more minutes before it's overcooked, so you have to work quickly. Well, it looks like there's a pretty good chance I forgot to push record for the whole second half of that boat gluing, but it is all done, ready to go. Well, not ready to go, but drying. In another hour or two, it probably is ready to go. And we'll go from there, see what happens. It's not our forever dinghy. We'll probably get something else somewhere down the road, but try and keep it in as best a shape as we can while we're using it. And Ari and I ripping around on it the other day pretty hard was probably what caused more of that than anything else, but that's Dad's having fun. What can you say? Anyway, we will catch you guys later. Alright, I'm not 100% sure if you can hear me over the wind or not, but we are underway again. Captain Kim's in charge, and we are off anchor and headed south from the Upper Waccamaw. And we are headed to Georgetown today. Georgetown, South Carolina. We'll probably spend a few days there. And then we're thinking about going out to sea for a day, or maybe through a night or something like that. But we're gonna wait and see. We'll see how that goes once we get down there. And of course, we almost got stuck in a traffic jam on our morning commute. And construction too. Well, that was one heck of a tight squeeze through all that construction stuff here at US 17 Bridge. Holy moly! Alright, so we are in Georgetown. We're gonna do a little adventure around town, see what we see.
Yeah.
So let's go.
Some history lesson.
Social studies today too, eh?
A little bit.
Alright, well let's go see Georgetown, see what it looks like. This is the Kaminsky House Museum, built in 1769 by prominent businessman Paul Trappier. The Kaminsky House stands out as one of the most representative of Georgian style of the era. Built on a bluff overlooking the Sampit River, the Kaminsky House is typical of the low country single house style of the mid-18th century. Then we made our way over to the visitor center to make a plan for other things to see.
We're gonna go play tourist today.
Tourist time!
And go to the Georgetown Marine Museum.
Yeah, another marine museum. It looks like there's some really cool stuff when you look in the front glass, so we're gonna go check it out. A friend of ours said it's an awesome place.
It's free.
So, cheers, Clay. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. Let's go.
Read the top 3 words. This word is kind of hard. This is a type of tree. That's those ones that we were camped around up on the Waccamaw. This is a cypress. Cypress.
Cypress.
That hollow tree that we found was a cypress. So this one is a cypress.
Dugout canoe.
So this is a cypress dugout canoe.
They gave me a scavenger hunt, and I'm going to show you where I found all of them. This is this map. And this is a piece of wood that I don't know what it is. Okay. And then there's a whale here and a boat there. And then there's this big hollow cypress tree.
Cool. And it's a canoe now?
Yes, was a canoe. It is very broken now, though.
Is that all of them down here?
Yeah, this is all of them on this side, and the rest of them are upstairs that I have not found yet.
Okay, let's continue.
Let's go up there. Upside down. We're looking for all of these items, and yeah. Here our first one is. Next is all of this boat stuff. boat stuff. I don't know what to call it. A steering wheel, some sort of heater thing. Not sure what that was. I know what that is, but I don't know what it's called. And a whole bunch of hatches and bar lights. And this way. Here's some sort of bell. This is the Megalodon area, and these teeth right here were on my scavenger hunt. And we got one more thing.
What did we learn about Megalodon?
That they're extinct.
That's important, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm still scared of them now. And then this is on the scavenger hunt too.
Oh. It was the largest private vessel in the world.
Yeah.
Cool. So you're all done?
Yeah, that's it for today's scavenger hunt.
Cool. Good job.
Bye.
So we just learned all about the Sea Cloud. This vessel in the picture behind me here was built in 1931, has been a luxury yacht for E.F. Hutton, has been a military vessel in World War II. It was owned by the dictator Rafael Trujillo, and this vessel still sails the world today. As a luxury cruise sailing ship that says Atlantic crossings, Caribbean, and the Mediterranean. I have a feeling we're going to see Sea Cloud one day in our adventure, so we'll see. Wow, that was one super cool museum experience.
Yeah.
Marine museums are rapidly rising on my list of favorite things to do.
Yeah.
So much interesting history and stuff.
Yeah. It wasn't as cool as the one in Solomon.
No, but
with
they
the
didn't have otters, you know?
And
So,
animals and
all the sea creatures.
yeah.
Yeah.
That one was like, the one in Solomon, what was it again? Calvert? Calvert Marine Museum was like halfway between museum and aquarium in some ways.
Yeah, she was cool.
Anyway, so we're done with that, and we are going to take off on a little walk, a little journey to get ourselves over to a grocery store and do a little reprovisioning.
We got a decent hike.
That's not too bad. It's about 2.5K. Something like that. That's this many miles. It'll sound like nothing, but you know, we're not fit people, so. I think the sidewalk sort of ends right here. Kind of turns into a forgotten walk.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the one you're talking about.
There are turtles over there, and there's a baby one trying to get onto its mom.
Grocery mission success!
Oh yeah!
Oh yeah! Got some sweaty bread here, so that's not ideal. We've decided to sail outside to Charleston, and that left us with two choices. We could either leave Winnea Bay through the Winnea Inlet during dark, or we could arrive at Charleston after dark. We decided that we would rather leave Winnea Bay and go out through the inlet at slack tide at 2 a.m. so that we didn't have to arrive in Charleston, where we've never been before, in the dark. It's not really obvious from the footage, but this Georgetown anchorage is fairly tight, and it's not very deep. It's quite shallow in several places. Plus, we needed fuel. So, we decided to scoot over to the fuel dock, refuel, and then stage ourselves much closer to the Winnea Inlet for the following very early morning start. Now, this is our first passage out to sea, as well as partially during the dark, as well as going out or in one of these Atlantic inlets. So there was more than a little apprehension, to say the least. Join us next week to see our very first offshore sail, as well as our time in Charleston, South Carolina, where we get our boat closer to a U.S. aircraft carrier than anyone should. See you next week. Bye.